All right, so it is 12 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this Monday, 12 p.m. Pacific time boot camp. I'm Jayden. I normally teach on Wednesday and Thursdays at the 12 o'clock time, but I'm filling in for David today, so hopefully I can be an adequate substitute, and I'm sure we're gonna have a great workout together. So how I put these workouts together is today is gonna be 2 different circuits. Each circuit is going to be 3 exercises, 3 rounds through, and every exercise is going to be 40 seconds with 20 seconds rest and transition time. So on every minute, we're going to be going through those 3 exercises. So I'm going to start by showing us what this first circuit is going to be, and then we'll do a little warm up and then get into it. So just hang out for a second. I'm just going to be demonstrating this first circuit. So from here, starting position is on our hands and knees. We're going to do a fire hydrant. So on our hands and knees, hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips. And we're doing 20 seconds each side. I'm going to raise my knee off the mat. Raise my knee off the mat. Open it up laterally. Tie the hand away from me. 20 seconds each side of that. Next, we're going to be doing some plank walkouts. So this is going to be the starting hand position, no matter how you look at it. So here, we're going to reach out, walk out into our plank position, up to our hands under our shoulders. And from here, we can decide whether to push up or not, or just walk us back up, stand up tall. So this one's working on our core. We want to come all the way out. We're holding our plank, straight line from up our heels to up our shoulders. Now push up. We want to throw that in. And last one we're going to do is forward reverse lunge, 20 seconds each leg. So we're doing forward and reverse on the same side for 20 seconds. So it'll look like I'm lunging out here. Bring my knee just off the ground, then lunging back on that same leg, trying to just touch the ground briefly in between each rep. The backwards one can be a little harder, so touching in between that one can be helpful. So that is what our first circuit is looking like. So go ahead now, do our little warm up. We're going to start with quad ped opposites. Go ahead, join me down on the mat. We're going to be opposite arm, opposite leg, fully extended out. So whatever side we want to start on. Reaching, fully extending. Engaging my core to keep that all stationary at our torso. Good. Just looking down the whole time. Keep the nice neutral neck. With 3 each side. We got one more. And good. All right, now we're just going to do some side lunge and reaches. So loosen up the back a little bit as well. And shoulders. So start up tall. Side lunge out to one side, keeping the opposite leg straight. From here, try to reach both arms out, fully extend from the shoulders and back. Reach down, come back to middle, and go to the other side. Keep our chest up here. Reach, come back to center. Do 2 more. Feel the stretch inside his hamstring and the straight leg here. Reach, feel the shoulders and back extend. Come back to the middle, 1 more. Reach. Feel the stretch into that hamstring. Good. And now we're going to do some forward lunge and rotations. So make sure we're nice and warmed up for those lunges. So we're going to pull our knee in tight. Lunge out, place our hands inside our foot, extend, look up to the sky, push your hand outside our foot, Now mimicking some of those movements we're about to do. The walk back, the lunge. The other side, we're gonna step out, put our hands inside our foot. Rotate through that same side, look up to the sky, put our hands out, put our foot back, and walk our hands on back. All right, so now let's go ahead, get going to that first circuit. This one is a little more technical. The next one's gonna be a little more intensive, a little more cardio. Just fair warning on that. Let me get the timer going. We're gonna start out with these fire hydrants, 20 seconds each side. So, get our hands and knees, starting the timer in 3, 2, and 1. Whatever leg we want to start with. Focusing on raising that to side of us, as high as we can. Lowering it back down. Keeping our shoulders, hips all locked in. All right, go ahead, switch sides. Locked in, that means not letting our hips rotate up as we move this side up. So keeping our other side down on the ground here. 3 seconds, 2, and 1. Good. That one's not too intense. It's really good for just strengthening these outer hip muscles and loosening up the hip. So a little bit of strengthening and mobility in that. So this one, I'm going to start standing, and we're doing our walk out to our plank. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, walk out slow. Feel our plank in this fully extended position. If we want to, go our push up and walk back. Good. We're going to walk out to this plank. Want to make sure our butt is dropped. Make sure to make that straight line from our heels, top of our shoulders. Doing that push up if we want. Good. You want to feel the butt drop into that plank, like I said. Locked in that pelvis. Last one. Finish the push up. And good. All right, now to our forward, backwards lunges. So 20 seconds of forward, backward on each side. In 3, 2, 1. Again, if you can, keep our foot up the entire time. You can try to, or in between reps, I transition from backwards here, forwards, and step down. This is an interesting one, so 20 seconds to the sides. As we're stepping forward, we're working our front leg. On our reverse line, we start working the stationary leg. So 3, 2, and 1. Rest that. Start back to our fire hydrants. These fire hydrants are great exercises to do for the lunges, squats, anything like that. So 3, 2, 1, go. And we get our body more warm. Might notice that can lift the hip a little bit higher. We're still trying to make sure we're fully locked in, not rotating too high where we extend up. So switch sides, 20 seconds in. Good. Gonna go straight out the side of us. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, now we're playing walkouts again. So this one we want to again feel our butt is being tucked at the bottom of our plank. So in 3, 2, 1, reach down, walk it out. So our hands are under our shoulders, push up and walk it back. So good for stretching out the hamstrings too on this one as you walk out. Doing that push up if you can, walking it back. Just really focusing when we get out to this position, touching our butt, and forward walking it back. And last one here, and we rest. Right on to our forward reverse lunge. Well, trying to the last one. When we're on this leg, we lunge forward, we're going to feel it in our front leg as we lunge backwards, transition then this leg. No matter what side you're on, both legs are being worked. So 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Lunges, these are extra good for a balance practice. Very gorgeous traditional lunges. In 3, 2, 1, switch legs. Then primarily working our quads on this one, our hamstrings and core work is stabilize the muscles. So try to keep those contracted working as well. In 3, 2, and 1. Just on those lunges, squeezing our core, help our entire upper body be strong on that one. So now we're going to fire hydrants. Last round. In 3, 2, 1, go. So keeping that same angle at our knee. That's what we're looking for. 2 and 1. Switch sides. It's a great way to notice if either of our hips is getting tighter than another. 3, 2, and 1. Or not last time, just plank walkouts. Stand up. All right, so now we got this down. We'll try to go a little faster this round, do a little more reps. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead like that. Walk your hands out. We'll do our push up. Walking back. Try to get as many reps as you can this time. Walking out quickly, do little steps. To our plank, push up, walking back. Good. We're feeling that straight line in our plank. We're walking it back. Good. About 5 more seconds. Finish up the last rep. 2 and 1. All right, good on those. So now we're doing our last round of lunges. Challenge ourselves to try to touch the ground as little as possible with our opposite foot. Last round here. So 3, 2, and 1. Get your knee just an inch or so off the ground. But this knee that comes down on those touches. Try to work on that balance too. In 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Get pushing out of this quad. Quad should be burning right now towards the end of these. Good. In 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, go ahead. Grab a little water. Shake out. Got our next round coming up. Next circuit coming up. So for this one, we're going to start out by doing single leg glute bridge. So for this one, glute bridge can be done both leg or single leg. So we're feeling single leg. Do that one today. So for this one, we can have our heel or our whole foot down on the flat on the floor, wherever we're feeling comfortable. Our leg extends straight out, and then we press out of this heel, engage our glute, going for a straight line from knee, shoulder, lower and back down. So we'll do the top right here. See if we can squeeze that butt just a little extra tight. Really engage the glute. Is where we want to be feeling this, not as much in our hamstring. So we gotta do those both feet on the ground or single leg. I'll call out 20 seconds, let you guys know to switch sides. The next one we're gonna do is you can stay down on the mat on our backs, thankfully. And we're doing bikes. So like these variations, so a few different options for bikes are here. We're gonna interlace our hands behind our head. We can have our legs up in starting position like this, or down on the floor. What we do is go opposite knee, opposite elbow. We can do that, reset it down on the ground on each rep, or if we want to have our legs up. Starting position will be right here, and rotating still, elbow, opposite knee, opposite leg straightens out, so on. So that is our bikes, and then last one we're going to do 30 seconds, first 2 rounds, and then with a regular 40 seconds, just because it's going to be, well, I'll show you, more intense, so go as hard as you can, but let's still give some time to rest. So it's going to be in and out squat jumps. So for this starting position, stand up tall, then once we get to the top of the time, squat out, back, stand up, fast as we can, land on our toes with this top position, and then just immediately going out into our squat, jumping back up, landing on our toes, and then that squat again, squatting on our big toe, little toe, and heel, so landing on balls of our feet, then engaging up through the quads and glutes. So that is going to be our last circuit. So hopefully we're ready. We're going to go ahead, start this timer. We got 15 seconds. So our glute bridges are going to be started. Let's get down on the mat. Sorry, just timer 2. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So let's start these glute bridges. Again, we can do single leg or dump 2 legs, what we're feeling today. We really want to feel this, I'll emphasize these again, in our glutes, not as much down our leg into our hamstrings. So 20 seconds in, let's go ahead and switch sides. And again, the heel can be just in the floor or feel comfortable with our entire foot down flat. Have that there too. Good. 3, 2, and 1. So we're good on those. We stay on our backs for these bikes. And want to try to have our hands interlaced behind our head as much as possible. We're going to want to become unhooked, but the more we can keep them interlaced behind our head, the more we'll have to use it for. So let's go ahead and get started on these. So remember, opposite elbow, opposite knee. And the more we keep our hands interlaced behind our head, the less free our elbows will be. And again, I'm going back to resetting both feet on the floor, and also be up, doing them like so. And then if we're up in that position, our hands will be want to come, not interlaced even more. So 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go ahead and get up. We have these in and out squats. 30 seconds, these first 2 rounds, so I have 40 seconds. Just so we can go all out and not get too tired for this next round of circuit. So in 3, 2, 1, go. We get a nice pace, going as fast as we can, laying on top here on our toes, and then going up into our regular squat position, keeping that flat back, knees over our toes, and pushing out of these quads into our jump. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, good. So then, got a little more extra time between on this one. So let's get ready for our glute bridges again. And for these, again, we're just going to emphasize feeling it in our glutes, so that even if we're not going to make that complete straight line, no matter where our end position is, just making sure we're doing a little extra squeeze in that glute to really feel it there. So in 3, 2, 1, let's get started on these. And good. So even if we're not going all the way up to that straight line, just if we're feeling it in the glute, that's what matters. That's what we're going for. Let's switch sides. Good. There we go. We got 5 more seconds. 2 and 1. All right, good. We can stay in this same position for these bikes. The bikes will be feeling towards the more top of our core. Things like leg raises and such will be the bottom. So we should be feeling it again more towards our chest. So let's get started. At least 3, 2, 1. And we really could cheat this by just bringing our knee as close as we can to our elbow. We really just want to focus on squeezing the top of that core as we cross over the opposite side. Good. 5 seconds. 2 and 1. Good. So yes, again, top core right below our chest, where I'm feeling those bites. So I'm gonna start on these in and outs, 30 seconds again. Starting 3, 2, and 1. Again, lighten our toes, lighten our feet, the soles of our feet. Slowing down the quads. Okay, we got 10 more seconds. Go finish strong. 3, 2, and 1. All right, good. Got last round now. Back on the floor. 4 glute bridges. And if we weren't feeling it, then our glutes are thinking we're not getting high enough on the single leg. We always can go back to 2 feet on the ground. We're not feeling the single legs yet. So in 3, 2, 1, and go. Or if we're ever feeling like something's off in our exercise, there's mostly always something we can do to modify it, make it a little easier for ourselves. So 20 seconds in, so we'll do things like switch sides, make it a little easier to execute, train our bodies to move in the right way. Good. So extra squeeze to the top, 3 more seconds. 2 and 1. Good. All right, so last round of bikes. So we can stay in that position. Wasn't even planning to do that, but it worked out kind of nice. So 3, 2, 1. Good. Squeeze that upper core on this last set. Think about bringing up our knee as little as possible. All our core. Keep those hands interlaced behind our head. Good. Here we go, about 10 more seconds. Finish this core out strong. Here we go, finish this. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, last thing. 40 seconds now of in and out squats. And bumping it up 10 seconds on this last one. Challenge ourselves to finish extra strong. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Keeping our head up, eyes up, landing on our toes, floating out of our quads, bottom of our squat. Keeping the back flat, halfway there, then we're done. Let's finish this out. Here we go. Here we go, 10 more seconds. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And good. All right, stop the timer. You felt a little extra burn on the extra 10 seconds. See why I shortened it 30 seconds. On our previous 2, extra 10 seconds. Really do remember. So, now circuit's done. Just gonna bring us through short cool down. So it's gonna be all down the mat. Just one drawing down there. We're gonna start with just a little child's pose on our hands and knees. Look at this. We're gonna sit down, pushing our butt as much as we can into our heels, and walking our hands out, trying to bring our head down to the mat. Staying out here. Child twins, really good for stretching out the low back, having kind of back problems. Child pose, definitely the top of the list of exercises for you. Good, taking deep breaths here, resetting heart rate. Good. All right, now let's go ahead, swing, or get both of our feet, and shoot one of our legs forward into pigeon pose. And stretch out the hip. And those squats, glute bridges, and lunges. Good amount of hip, glute stuff today, so hips could be feeling a little sore, so I'm going to stretch those out. Again, on the pigeon pose, trying to straighten out this back leg as much as possible. I can help get to extra stretch through that hip. All right, go ahead and switch sides. And call it a day. Just about out of time. So now my other leg forward now. Straighten out my back leg. Let my chest and head fall towards the mat now. Over this front leg. Stretching out that hip. And good. And so we'll reset, come back to center, and that'll do it for today's class. Again, yes, and David should be back next week. But thank you for coming, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, Jayden.
Thanks, sir.